Hey, time to shine today, Varsity Squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and I have a super awesome treat today. I got basically a neighbor here in South Florida. A lot of my interviews, like the last one you heard, was someone in Australia or New Zealand or somewhere else. This is like Deb. We should just probably did it in studio if it wasn't for the whole Corona thing. But she lives just probably maybe 3-4 miles from me. She's my sister from a different Mista. Her name's Debbie Borger, and she has the company DB Wellbeing, and she's all about making a positive contact impact. Getting in shape shouldn't be a punishment. It's an amazing and powerful lifestyle decision that anyone can achieve, even if you have injuries like Deb does, which we're going to dig into some of those hurtsies here a little bit in her interview. She believes in finding the pleasurable side of fitness, and while there may be a sore muscle or two along the way, the amount of fun and levels of energy you will experience will far exceed the discomfort. And peeps, look in the show notes and go to DB Wellbeing, and she's got like her training people outside and everybody is like breaking that sweat, but also having a fantastic smile on their faces because they're getting it done and knowing that it's helping them level up. She's originally from PA, which she makes her an Eagles fan, but whatever, we can see through that. She graduated from Temple, go Owls, in 2000 cum laude. So she graduated some honors. She transitioned into fitness and having first taught phys ed and then by becoming an aquatics director. In addition to being NASM certified or National Academy of Sports Medicine, she's certified youth exercise specialist, group X instructor, and a level 2 ACA certified kayak SUP instructor, which she actually introduced me kind of into SUP a little bit and helped me find my board. This is like 5 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. She has vast experience in teaching as well as an extensive aquatic and ARC instructorship background. She's been living in such places as Costa Rica, Cape Cod, both New Jersey and Maryland Eastern Shores, and of course, Florida. And my girl, Deb, please come on. And I'm going to have you introduce yourself to the squad in just a second. But what's your favorite color and why?
I have to go with light blue these days.
Light blue.
It changes. I love yellow, but lately I've been feeling a lot of light blues.
Feeling the ocean, feeling the energy.
Yeah, just the light spring going into summer, just the color of the sky, kind of, in wintertime, it's all dark colors. I'm very earthy toned. So I'm
Right.
trying to bring in a little light.
So in the show notes, peeps, go to Instagram.com/Deb, DEB Wellbeing, and make sure you check out her stories because she's literally there for sunrises almost every day here in South Florida. And she's the rock star person. I consider her a really good friend down here. Really one of my first friends that I met at Hurricane Cafe, I believe we met at.
Yep.
And we shared a couple of breakfasts, and that's when live stream was first coming up, and we were kind of going over the whole live streaming phenomenon. That was before like Facebook Live and all that other stuff. I think I was using Periscope. But let's go back. Give us some of your origins, Deb, and where you started and how you got to where you are now, helping people level up and crush life.
Well, ironically, I was always an athlete. I played field hockey and softball in high school, but I went to school, as you said, for a degree in education. And I kind of just shifted gradually over into aquatics, and I was a teacher for a couple of years. And then some things changed, and I ended up teaching phys ed. And then from phys ed, I was in aquatics, and then I kind of ventured from phys ed to personal training. And so I'm still teaching, and I'm still working with kids, just not in a classroom, so to speak.
I love that. And like you're one of the few people that really went to school kind of for what they're doing, right? Did I say that correctly?
Well, the teaching aspect of it.
Okay.
I don't have a degree in like exercise science, but I have a plethora of other degrees in personal training, and because we continue our education all the time. I just finished some. I just completed my water safety instructor for the second time.
Wow.
To be able to teach kids to swim again. It's just you're always learning, and you're always going to school for something. We always have to get continuing education. So yeah.
Gotcha. It's funny that like down here in Florida, when I moved here 5 years ago, and you were so welcoming, so thank you very much for that again. But like almost a prerequisite of being a Florida resident is either having your real estate license or being a personal trainer. Okay. So what makes a great trainer, a great coach, in your opinion?
You have to listen to your clients. You have to relate to them, and you have to have the experience. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially on Instagram these days, that just go out and post workouts and videotape themselves. But you need to know what you're doing. So A, that nobody gets hurt. And B, you need to relate to your clients. And I was just talking about this morning, working with clients that you have something in common with, that their goals were your goals at one point in time. That kind of, makes you trustworthy in their eyes, and not just, oh, well, it's easy for her to be in shape because she didn't have to come to lose 50 pounds to get there. So did something like that. So,
but you walked that road. I mean, not to say you had to lose 50 pounds, but you went through a lot of injuries that you talked about, probably through field hockey and being an athlete. And did any of those really set you back and just make you kind of give up on any of it?
Absolutely. I gave up for a long time after college. I tell all my clients, especially my young girls, stick with it. Don't give up. Don't quit after college and then go off on a different road. Always keep your fitness, skills in check. Always make it a habit and keep it in your routine, because if you stop, it is so much harder to start again. And I did. I had injuries that started. I have scoliosis to start when I was a kid that, started. And then in my 20s, I was in an accident and I had degenerative disc disease and herniated discs in my lower back, L4, L5. And that just really, I've been getting injections in my spine since I was in my early 20s. I'm 42. Right. And then I had a paddleboard that fell on my head, and that injured my upper, my neck, C6 and C7. So I have some stenosis and some bulging discs in my neck. I just found out a couple of weeks ago I have a slight tear in my rotator cuff from paddleboard. So there's a lot that just, but that it slowed me down, absolutely. And, the weight gain and not being able to do things that I really loved doing that were, and part of an active lifestyle, living everywhere that I lived, surfing especially, and, swimming and things like that. So I had to find a way to get rid of the pain and be able to live my lifestyle without having to go for surgeries and things like that. And the way that I did it was through fitness.
Love it. I love it. So I'm out at a networking event, which we're kind of allowed to do around here now because we're kind of breaking out of the quarantine time. And I'm out pressing some flesh, meeting some people. And I'm using the whole exercise of, one mouth and two ears for a reason. I'm really listening to somebody as we're talking. What kind of things might they say that would make them a great introduction, referral, maybe even a prospect or client for DB Wellbeing?
Anything really. I work with such a vast range of clients, from clients that are seniors that are being told by their doctors that they need to stay active and flexible and work on their agility so that they don't trip over a curb and break a hip. Young girls that are just out of college. I just brought on a client recently who wants to learn how to work out. I have another one that's going to college and she wants to learn how to work out properly. So anyone that doesn't have any experience and needs to start from the very beginning, and that just brings in my teaching skills right there. So you're teaching them the basics right off the bat, ground
level.
Almost
like subconsciously preparing yourself before for what you're doing now. That
created a foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I affectionately kind of call this area Heaven's Waiting Room, because people kind of flock here kind of, in the last years of life. But one thing about Deb is she extends their quality of life, not only their life, but their quality of life through her process, or her secret sauce, if you will, to help people level up in their fitness. And not only that, Deb also helps with their mindset as well to kind of get them right, just because the obstacles that Deb's had to go through in her life. And I'm saying this because I'm her friend and we've talked about it over lunch or coffee or whatnot. Let me ask you something, Deb. If you're bringing in a new client, you're kind of going through the discovery process with them, what is your secret sauce, if you don't mind sharing, to help them find their blind spot?
It's a good question. Bringing out, everyone's always nervous when they come in and they meet with a personal trainer. They think they're not good enough. They think that they're not going to be able to get it right. They're not going to be able to, have the stamina. They're going to look awkward doing something. So right. I kind of try and bring out the positives of what they are doing correct. I will work on what needs to be corrected, sure. But I will absolutely bring out the positives and compliment them and make them feel secure in what they're doing, so that they feel that way when they walk back in the gym the second time
I
through
love
that
that
door.
about you too, because you're
Um,
actually not just a cookie cutter trainer. Or I mean, like, if you were to, like, if I would love to strap a GPS to Deb every day, because I know, like, I'm seeing her,
Me
she's at this
too.
gym, she's training people in freaking, condominium complexes or townhouse complexes. I mean, Deb's everywhere. She cares about, so many people. So, Deb, when you're bringing people on, is there any question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
It's interesting. Even just the question of how did you get into this? People don't even ask you how long you've been doing it.
I know.
Are you
Right.
certified?
Right.
That's my one right there.
Okay.
Because I know there are so many trainers in this town alone that are training that probably do not have an up-to-date certification.
Wow.
I
That's
mean,
terrible.
but they've been doing it for 25 years.
Sure. Right.
So they have the experience.
Right.
But I think that everyone should do their due diligence. I think that you should talk with a couple different trainers before you get
Yeah.
a trainer, see if you have
And
a
it's
good
evolved
rapport.
so much, right? I mean, the fitness
Absolutely.
world has, so those people that might have been doing it for 20 years, 25 years, they're not keeping up with their continuing education. I said that in air quotes if you're just listening. So they're not, but you're always up to date on everything, correct? So
Yeah,
you're
I try. I mean, I went to visit my sister-in-law and my brother a couple weeks ago in quarantine. They're in the middle of Florida. And, she was doing a beach body class at first thing in the morning. And my brother went to the gym. And one day I went to the gym with him to try out different equipment in that different gym. And the next day I did a beach body class in the morning on TV with her.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, wow, there's an exercise I've never done. I'm going to have to
Right.
write that down, because
Right.
I don't do beach body. So I was like, oh, I like that exercise.
I
So
love that.
just doing different things. There's nothing wrong with learning from other people. Why reinvent the wheel? There are other people who have great ideas and, should share them.
I love that. You just basically set your ego aside so you can
Absolutely.
evolve. That's
Yes.
fantastic. You hear that, squad? That's what we talk about quite a bit, whether you're a coaching client of mine or whatnot. I'm always saying ego, which, I'm a man of faith, and ego, I say, edges God out, EGO. So it's like when you do that, you become kind of full of yourself and you never evolve. So thank you for
Yes.
sharing that you do evolve. So, Deb, we're going to hop in our DeLorean with Marty McFly. We're going to go back 20 years to the 22-year-old. We already shared your age, so that's fine. 20 years to the 22-year-old Deb. And what knowledge nuggets would you drop on her to help her shorten her learning curve a little bit with the knowledge and wisdom that you have now?
Well, I wish I never would have stopped working out during that
Don't
time.
stop.
Because don't stop.
Right.
Because when I was 22, I wasn't working out at the time. I had just graduated college and, I was in such a different place. And I never would have seen myself doing this. I mean, I was teaching at the time in a school district outside Philadelphia, same school district Kobe Bryant went to.
Okay.
And little knowledge nugget there.
There you go.
And, I would just tell her, all your skills, just because you went to school and got a degree in education doesn't mean that's the only skill that you can hone in on to make a living, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. They try to
Everybody has so
pigeonhole
many.
you, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a good thing I didn't like picking up trash. I would have been a trash. Not that there's anything wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like,
Right.
you go to college and they're like, what do you like to do? That's your major.
Sure.
Back when I went to school, back when you went to school. But I think that, listen, I became a lifeguard when I was 14. It was one of my first jobs. Now I do aqua therapy with clients in the water who have brain injuries.
Wow.
I never would have thought that that's where that would have evolved.
Wow.
So don't overlook anything that you have the education in, because you may be making a living off of that. That may become your passion someday.
Love it. I love
So.
that. So pay attention is what you're saying in every aspect that you are in your life. You tell young Deb, listen, pay attention and never stop evolving. That's awesome. So what's the BIG, the big thing? Because you did so much. You help so many people. You're the ultimate go-giver. What's the BIG thing that Deb wants to accomplish in her life?
Well, to be honest with you, I want to complete a book. I want to write a book that I've been working
you're going
on.
to. I got you.
Yeah, a book that I've got.
Love
It's
it.
just that's the big thing right now that I'm focused on. My training, I've watched a lot evolve over the past couple of months with the COVID and quarantine and that kind of thing. So my training has evolved to kind of naturally or forcefully on its own to a
Hmm.
good place. And so this is something that I want to complete. And so that's what's next.
Love that. Love it. Love it. And I think that you're going to probably, I could see Deb really leading 100,000 people in a directional level up her life. She might not see it. She's going to write that book. And little as she knows, there's a little knowledge nugget here that Deb plays a very small role in my book, Level Up, It's Time to Shine, where my character Travis meets somebody. And her name is Dana, which I changed her name, Deb. You don't even know this.
No, I
And
don't.
it's literally just a couple paragraphs about one of the first people he meets in his transition to Florida.
Oh,
So
thank
anyways, you're
you.
in it. So we talk a lot about the dash here at Time to Shine today. Okay. And I want to know how you want your dash remembered. And that dash is that little line between your life date and death date. How do you want your dash remembered or your epitaph? How do you want that?
I think just reaching as many people as I possibly can and bringing some sort of positivity and smile to their day, even if it's just for a half an hour.
Love
Um,
it.
I'm with so many people throughout the day, and each one I have a separate relationship with. I
Right.
do. I mean, it's like amazing. I have amazing people in my life, amazing clients. And I want to be that for them too. That, oh, it's my hour with Deb or my
Right.
half hour with Deb and,
You're making that
kind of
difference, right? And
time to shine.
yes, it's the time to shine. And it's funny, Deb, is a personal trainer, and I am, a lot of my listeners know is my full time, I guess, job, if you will, is a real estate agent here in South Florida, and we're being a trainer and a realtor. You're kind of not just that. You're almost kind of like a therapist, a marriage counselor. You got like all of those wrapped in. So when those people come in with that hour with Deb, she is 100% focused on that person. Like Deb doesn't exist. That's the one thing that I've heard from people that she's trained is, and that's how a trainer needs, not just listen with the ears. She's listening with her eyes and actions, posture. She's 100% totally present. So thank you for that. And your epitaph's going to read, amazingly. So what are three things? Let's take out our cell phone. Let's take out iPad, all that jazz. What are three things Debbie can't live without?
My dog.
Dog.
She
She's
can't live
sweet.
without me right now, so we're good.
Sure.
Um, the outdoors
Yeah.
and a hairband.
Yes. Boom. There you go. Big hair. Don't
Gosh,
care.
man, if I
Who
don't
was
have
your
a
Who
rubber
was your
band,
band in the 80s, Debbie?
no, I mean for my actual hair.
Okay. Got it. Never
But
mind.
yes,
Never
a
mind.
hairband as well. No.
What is?
Music. Yes, I
Yeah.
can. I love music.
Yeah, you
So
do.
I'd say, put me outside in the middle of nowhere and just give me some tunes.
Some jams. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what is Debbie's definition of a life well lived?
Just seeing a lot of different places, and I'm not there yet. I mean, I'm looking up at my vision board right now, right in front of me, and I'm just got all these places that I want to go and things I want to do, and just being able to knock those off your bucket list, I think, and having a really great circle, even as small as it may get as you get older. Just having that great circle of good friends
Solid
and
community, right?
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. And you are great with your family. I mean, if you check her out on social, like this picture of these Eagle jerseys with her and her dad, though, but no, like it's just the love shines through, and it's awesome. Debbie loves people. I know that. So, Deb, we're good as we wind things down just a little bit. We're going to move it up into our leveling up lightning round.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you 5 or 6 questions. You and I, because our friendship and, whatnot, could talk for 15, 20 minutes, but my producer's over here going like this, 5 seconds.
Uh-oh.
So they're easy questions. Just fire off top of your head. No explanations. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Work smarter, not harder.
Love that. Okay. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
I don't drink.
That's true. How long has it been, if you don't mind sharing?
No one wants to hear that, but it's the truth. 6 years. But,
Fantastic.
that's not the only one of us, but I do put that out there because I think it was very important in the role. No, you said no explanations, but in
No,
the
you're fine.
shift of
I was
making
going
the
to bring that up, but I
career.
didn't. You opened the door. So, which Debbie,
Yeah.
when I met her, she was just a year in,
Yeah. I was
you
a
know?
bartended for
Yep. Yeah.
years I worked a lot of jobs.
Gotcha. So, not the book you're reading now, not the flavor of the month that you're seeing out there. What is the one book that is your go-to book? If I was in the doldrums, you'd be like, Fergie, read this.
Well, the one book, just one,
One book.
um, I would say the 4 Hour Work Week.
Love it. Timmy Ferris? Love
Mhm.
that. Love that. So, what is your most commonly used emoji when you're texting?
The let's go with the wink, but the rosy faced smile with the mouth closed. I
Love
don't know
it.
what you call
Love it.
it.
Love it. Love it. If you could
The
be one,
blushing
yeah, the
smile.
blushing smile. If you could be one age, and you can't say 42, if you could be one age for the rest of your life, what would it be?
30.
30. Yeah, solid age, solid age. What's your favorite charity and or organization you'd like to give your time and or money to?
Oh, I wish I had even more money to give to a very important charity called JAFCO, is the Jewish Adoption and Family Care Options. Very important and meaningful foundation in Fort Lauderdale that was important to my family and to my great uncle who had a role in that. And so it's an amazing charity.
Love
So
it.
I'd love to give more time to them if I could.
Love it. And you will, as you grow and you start bringing stuff on, you're going to give a lot of time to that. And I love that. And I'll put that in the show notes as a link to it as well, if you can share that with me later.
Yep.
What is the last question? What is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
The 80s.
There you go. Big hair, don't care. That's why I thought you
So
were
I
talking
said
about
big
hair
hair. I
bands.
know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Debbie, how can we find you?
You can find me at www.dbwellbeing.com.
Gotcha. And that's like Delta Bravo, dbwellbeing.com.
No
Okay.
hyphen in the well-being, just one word.
Got it.
And however, my Instagram is Deb Wellbeing, DEB
Yeah.
Wellbeing.
Yeah. Someone has the DB and he doesn't have any posts up, and that's crap. You should just tell him to take it down, right?
But my Facebook is DB Wellbeing, the regular as well. So
yes. And all of those will be in the show notes.
Yes.
How about, can you do us one last solid and leave the Time to Shine Today Varsity Squad with one last knowledge nugget that you want them to take with us, internalize, and take action on?
One last knowledge nugget. Get up early, drink your water first thing in the morning.
Hey, that's solid.
And get to sleep early, and don't let anyone make fun of you for doing so.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
Even if it's 7:30 and you're in bed. No,
hey,
no, I think my biggest thing is like work smarter, not harder, honestly,
I love that.
because I worked, there was a time I worked 3 jobs, 7 days a week. And,
right.
You got
when I met
smarter.
you were side hustling like crazy. You know, you had your fitness job. I think you worked a bartending job and also maybe like like I met you, you were working at the cafe, you know, and you were so friendly and whatnot. But hey, squad, you guys have just been blessed with a mastermind from my really good girlfriend here, Deb. And she dropped some solid knowledge nuggets on you where, you know, when she works with people, she listens and relates to her clients. She has a story to share with them, especially when they get in a rut. Deb can pull that story out and kind of share with them how she pushed through and plant that seed so they can as well. She sets her ego aside so she can always evolve and level up. And people do that. Don't think that you know it all, because everything evolves. Everything evolves. And if you don't keep up with it, you can be left behind. You know, and if you're stuck on something, she's like, ask for help. Like we say here, get your asking gear. Like, ask for help. She wants to like crush her bucket list, tackle it hard. She wants to travel. And while she's doing that, she still wants to be able to help as many people as she can. Most of all, get up early, stay hydrated, and work smarter and not harder. And Deb is the epitome of all of those things. She levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's humble. Yes, she's hungry. She's part of the Time to Shine Today squad. So thank you so much, Deb,
Thank
for
you.
coming aboard. You're amazing. You're awesome. And I love your guts.
Love you too, Scott.
Okay. Talk soon.
Yeah.